Yeah, some Ed Mylett for you this Wednesday. Some Ed Mylett. Again, a lot of this stuff are reminders, but are we doing what we know? Right? You know this stuff. You know how important discipline is for you to get to your ideal life, don't you? We've talked about this a bunch, haven't we? How it takes this self-discipline for you to design the life you don't need a break from. We're not talking about just being average and having the life that we have, right? We're talking about designing our ideal life. All of us getting to the life you don't need a break from. That is, you have life exactly where you want it. Health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships, all the good things. You got it right where you want it. How do we create that? We have to change ourselves. We have to become better. We have to become different. And one of the things that we know we need is more self-discipline. It's discipline. I remember showing you guys a video of Venus Williams saying discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom, right? The more disciplined you are, the more free you are from, like you just heard Ed Mylett say, having to think, having the cognitive overload, having to constantly start and stop things again. You're so much more disciplined that you're free from all of those things. So your brain can do what it's designed to do, which is be creative, think, be innovative, right? Have creativity. Dr. Darius Daniels used to always say, right, our brains are not meant for are not meant for storage. They're meant for creativity. The more we store a bunch of stuff in there and the more it gets all bogged down, we get this excessive cognition. That's not what our brains are designed for. That's why people are burning out and don't have time to do things and are foggy mentally. It's because our brains are actually meant to think and be present and be creative. And that's what the human brain is for. We've overloaded it with things that are not helping. So we got to what? Expand our capacity. Self-discipline helps you expand your capacity. What do I always tell you? Right? The reason why you're going after this life or this goal, these things that you have in place is to expand your capacity, to grow the capacity inside of you to handle what you're asking for. God's not going to give you something that you can't handle. And right now, you don't have the capacity to handle what you're asking for. None of us do. It's okay. But that's the process of growth. That's why we're learning. That's why we're growing. That's why we're getting better. It's so that you have the capacity to handle what you're asking for. You have to know the awareness, what takes away your disciplines. And Mylett just talked about it. If you feel like you're a disciplined person or you feel like you're not a disciplined person, it doesn't matter. It's however you think about it. It's your identity. Whether you believe you can, whether you believe you can't. Either way, you're right. But are you aware of what takes away your disciplines? Are you aware of what takes it away? Like you're disciplined and then this thing happens, or you get sucked into this thing or that thing, and that takes away some of your disciplines. Are you aware of it? Ed mentioned a few on his side, the watching TV, right? That takes him away from it, the watching live sports or whatever the case is, right? Food sometimes can take us away from it. Are you aware? Awareness is the first step to change. Always remember that. You becoming aware is the first step in you actually changing something. If you're unaware that you even have a problem, you're unaware that these things are even an issue in your life, you likely won't change it. But once you take some time and think and say and ask yourself that question, man, what's taking away my discipline? What's leading me down the path of being less disciplined? Now you become aware of it. Now we can start paying attention to it a bit more. The worry, the fear, he talked about that too. Do you know that those are things that take you away from your disciplines? Your thought life, your thought life. What are you thinking about that causes worry, anxiety, fear, depression, all those things? These are thoughts. You're thinking about something. And if that's taking you away from your disciplines, if that's taking you away from putting the energy into where you need to put it into to get to the life you want, we got to address that. He talked about scheduling it in. Those of you that have worked with me or know me, right? Like, I work off of a schedule. Like, no one gets on my calendar last minute. Even my mom, she knows if she needs something, she has to tell me a day or two in advance so it gets on my calendar. That's just the way I operate. That's how I've trained and taught everyone around me that I need to operate is off of a calendar. But do you calendar your life in? I know we have our job and that takes up this huge block of time, which normally we don't manage, right? We just have this 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or however you work. You just got this block of time. But what about all the other time? Do you schedule things in? Do you schedule in your family time? Do you schedule in your relationship date night time? Do you schedule in the calls that you have to make, the people you have to reach out to, the activities you got to get done, the gym time, the family time, like whatever it is, do you put it in your calendar? I was just talking to somebody else about this yesterday. Again, same thing. He's looking at his calendar. He's looking at like getting his time management together. Again, changing the language. Everything's in the language that we speak, right? So I always say we're not managing time. We all get the same amount of time, and time is outside of you. So you're actually managing yourself within the time, right? So instead of time management, I need to get better with my time. I need to get better with managing myself within the time. Within this 24 hours, I got to get better at my management of me, of my hours, block by block. I don't need more time management because I can't manage the 24 hours God gives us. I can manage me. And so I was helping him understand that concept. And I said, hey, show me your schedule. And he showed me, hey, I have this financial meeting, and then I got work at this time, and I got to drop my daughter off at this time. That's all he had. I was like, you see all the other white space? What are you doing then? How intentional are you about that white space in your calendar? That period between 3 and 4, that period between 4:30 and 5. Like how intentional are you about the time that's given? Are you scheduling it in? Is it a priority to you? Or are you somebody that says I don't have time? Hopefully not. Hopefully you're managing yourself within the time. Make sure you schedule it in. Keep small promises you make to yourself. Ed Mylett just talked about that. Keep small promises that you make to yourself. This is how you build self-confidence. This is how you build self-esteem, right? It's keeping small promises. Small promise like I'm going to make my bed every morning, or I'm going to do a devotional every morning, or I'm going to meditate every day. Like small promises. It's not I'm gonna make $1 million by next year, or I'm gonna, drop 40 pounds in the next 6 months. Like not big promises, small promises that you can control day to day. How many of them are you making to yourself? By the way, if any of you lack a little bit of confidence or a little bit of self esteem, or you're going through one of those phases where you're just unsure, start making small promises and keeping them. The reason it got undone is because we made some promises to ourselves that we didn't keep. We said we were going to do some things over time, we just didn't do it. And years and years and years of doing that will lower one's self esteem. So, to get it back, to get that confidence back, guess what? Just make some small promises. Tell yourself you're going to wake up at a certain time and do it. Tell yourself you're going to make your bed every day and you do it. Small things. Tell yourself you're going to call your mom every day, your dad every day, and do it. That's all. Just really, really small things. It's going to help you create the identity of a disciplined person. That's the key. You create an identity. You'll never out earn your identity, who you believe you are in your mind. You'll never out earn that. So you have to create an identity of yourself, of somebody that actually is worthy of whatever life you're asking for. You've put in the disciplines, you've done the work, all of those types of things. Because always remember, this is the last thing before we dive into our text. It says, under pressure, we react reflexively, under pressure. So when life gets chaotic for you, when life is lifing, when all the things are happening, when it's the family and the money and the business and the this and the health and all the things are hitting you. I know you know what I'm talking about. When all the things are happening, you're just going to sink to your level of training, of what you've trained your brain to do, of what you trained your nervous system to do. Is your default the worry, the fear, the depression, the anxiety, the woe is me, the I have no time? Like, is that the default? Is that what we've trained ourselves to do? Or have we trained ourselves the other way? Have we trained ourselves in abundance, in love, in faith, in all the good things so that when that time comes, when life is going to hit you, because it's going to hit you, I hope we all understand that life does not get easier. We get stronger or not. It's your choice. But life is not going to get easier. So when that time that life gets hard again, when you go through that storm, like you're going through now or you just came out of, but when you get into that next one, reflexively, what are you going to do? What's your body going to do? I know what you would like to do, but what have you trained your body to do? Have you trained your body to be grateful that I've told you every single morning? That's a training, you learning how to do it regardless of how you feel. Have you been doing that for some time? So now that's your training so that when life starts hitting you, you still wake up in a good place, being grateful, remembering all the good things. Or is that not your training? Is your training back to the worry, back to the people pleasing, back to the, right? Like you have to pay attention to this stuff, y'all, because we will constantly get under pressure. You're going to react the way you know to react, or your body reacts, or your mind reacts. That's what it's going to know. I could have dove into in our text, 177 mental toughness secrets. I could have dove into one of the chapters that talks about champions or the masters of momentum. You heard Ed Mylett talk about momentum being a magnifier, how we're really just building this momentum up. But I chose this one. The great ones choose discipline over pleasure as a reminder that we got to work on our self-discipline. We got to work on our discipline, right? It's important. Discipline equals freedom. If you feel like you don't, you have to start small. Ed just gave you the blueprint. If you don't feel like you're a disciplined person, if you're a person that says that over and over, one, I would not tell yourself that. Two, I would say, hey, let's start to create the identity of what a disciplined person does, what a disciplined person looks like, operates like on a day-to-day basis. Start small. Make your bed every day. Do the small thing. Cook the clean the dish. Like whatever the small promises you can make 7 days a week that you're not going to let yourself down, that's where you start. And over time, you build some momentum. Here's what it says in the text. It says, when average performers have had enough for the day and call it quits, champions are usually just getting started. Discipline is the watchword of great performers. Discipline makes the difference between the good and the great. Say that again. Discipline makes the difference between the good and the great. The great ones will tell you discipline is more of a decision than it is an active skill. It's the ability to stay the course and complete promises you've made. The fulfillment of these promises builds self-confidence and self-esteem, which eventually leads the champions to believe almost anything is possible. It's a habit and a self-fulfilling prophecy built into one. Discipline is a logic-based decision that performers adhere to regardless of whether they feel like it or not. Discipline pushes performers past pain and punishment. As my late business partner and mentor Bill Gove always said, it's easier to act yourself into good thinking than to think yourself into good action. This is the mindset of the champion. The great ones like Bill Gove don't let feelings interfere with their performance. Instead, they harness the power of their emotional motivators to propel them past the competition. Average people see discipline as a painful chore to be avoided at all costs. The world class sees it as the ultimate power tool for performance. Discipline, ladies and gentlemen. It's easier to act yourself into good thinking than to think yourself into good action. It's easier to just start the process of just doing the work, of just acting properly, of just keeping the small promises. It's easier to do that if you just get started than to sit and think about it and feel like doing good things, feel like going to the gym, feel like eating properly, feel like mending that relationship, right? That feeling we got to get away from if we're going off to design our ideal life. If we want, again, that's who I'm talking to. That's who we are on these calls. It's the people that want to go off and design our ideal life. We're not happy with the status quo. We're not happy with the average, mediocre. Again, God bless all the people that are. But if there's more that you want and more that you see, you have to become more. You have to become better. You have to be able to do more. And one of the things is working on one's discipline, working on your discipline. It says here in this quote, with self-discipline, anything is possible. It's true. With self-discipline, anything is possible. I believe discipline is the ultimate key to success as it determines your approach towards every day. Discipline keeps you focused and keeps you performing at a world-class level. When things start distracting you, when life comes to distract you, when the enemy comes to distract you, you have to have something that allows you to stay focused, to keep you going. It's if you want to design your ideal life, you want this life that you dream about, you've got to start doing some things a little bit different. Here's the action step for today. It says on a scale from 1 to 7, 7 being most disciplined, how disciplined are you in the different areas of your life? This is you becoming aware of the life that you want. This is you becoming aware of where you need your growth. So how disciplined are you in your business and your career, in your family and friends, in your money and finances, in your recreation and fun, in your health and diet and exercise, in your faith and spirituality, in your social or cultural disciplines? What about in your personal development? What about showing up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because this is an hour and a half out of your week that can help shift your mindset if you're disciplined. If you show up, sure, there might be a thing that pops up here and there, but think you can be disciplined. It says it's a decision more than it is a skill. And so you all can make the same exact decision today that I'm going to be disciplined in these areas. I'm going to work on my discipline in any of these areas. Maybe it is in my personal development. Maybe I do need to get better at reading, at listening to better things, at getting around better people, at cutting off the radio, whatever it is. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe it is in my health. Maybe it is in my finances. I don't know what it is for you. But if you want to get to that place, that destination, that goal, whatever that vision, the thing that you've set, discipline is going to be a key in your life. If you don't have it right now, start small today, not next week, not when April starts. Like today, do something, keep a small promise to yourself, do it consistently, and watch how it builds the momentum. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. If nobody tells you, I'll constantly remind you. People are counting on you to get this information. That's why not everyone's here. It's because you are responsible for this information. You have to take it. You have to take it. You have to apply it in your life because people are counting on you to build the capacity to handle this life that you're asking for and pulling people along with you. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be colleagues. I'm not sure who will be depending on you, but they are counting on you to get better. And you got to know, you got to just keep going. I never said this was going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it when you become that man or woman God called you to be. That's what we're working towards, y'all. Go out this Wednesday, do something that scares you, do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone that your future self is going to thank you for. We'll be back here on Friday. Love you guys. Take care.